Hello and welcome back to Speed Model. Last time we've built the outer shell of the office, so now it's time to actually move in and sort of get the internal structures ready. You're watching episode 2 of Speed Model. We start off with a very quick optimization step. For faster rendering, the glass panels are no longer ray transparent. Their reflective depth was also reduced. We continue with creating the structures for the office by modeling some doors. I built a very simple door for one of the offices, which I texture up immediately. Instead of using the downloaded texture as is, I darkened it somewhat before applying it to the door. Then I built a door handle by starting with a cylinder and extruding it to a shape I like. I decided to try a little harder than I did last time, which explains the extended amount of time spent on the modeling, as well as the repeated retries. Eventually, I'm satisfied with the look, and proceeded to perform some final cleanups of the mesh. With the one door complete, I begin to duplicate it around for use all around the office. Thanks to the wooden texture, the office now has a splash of color. I spent some time to tweak up the lighting of the scene, taking the time to perform a quick test render to make sure things look okay. A lot of the time, glass panels have these little strips in them, probably to stop someone walking through said panels. I try to emulate this effect by creating a texture image with the strips on them. The idea is to use texture mapping to place these strips on the glass panels. Unfortunately, that didn't quite work out. While the strips appeared on the glass, they continued to look transparent. I tried poking at many of the different texture mapping settings available in the program, but was unable to figure it out. After trying a whole bunch of failed methods, I eventually decided to simply create a new mesh, colored white and scaled appropriately, and simply place that onto the glass. I repeat this for all the glass panels in the office. Thinking that I was more or less done with the structure of the office, I started work on some of the furniture in the pantry. My idea was to have a long kitchen counter type deal that goes in an L shape along the wall. You've seen me do this countless times, but as usual, I began to cut holes into the cabinet itself. It is at this point that I realized I'd forgotten something: windows. I'd also forgotten the more superior technique of simply using Boolean operators to cut out the windows. I spent some time trying to cut up the mesh using loop cuts, before simply moving on to use a cuboid to cut holes out of the walls. I had to scale the cuboid differently for the different windows. The studio, pantry, and offices had non-standard window sizes, so I had to tweak the scale accordingly. With that done, I began to model the actual windows. These are simple sliding windows and are very similar to the ones we've created many times on this series. Just a metallic looking frame with glass in the center. Once I have my first copy ready, I duplicate them around for use in all the windows in the office, thus finishing up the last of the key structures that go into the office. And there you have it. So we accidentally started work on a pantry before we were supposed to. But yeah, next time we'll actually go in and properly fix up the pantry. Now, I don't think I will actually complete it in one sitting. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build, the rough structures of what's supposed to be in there, and maybe I'll move away and come back at a later time to fill in the details. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, that's all there is for this episode of Speed Model. Until next time, you're watching 0612 TV. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, consider checking out the rest of my work on my channel. Alternatively, you may be interested in the last season of Speed Model. If you'd like to show me some monetary support, I am on Patreon. You can find a link to my campaign in the video description. Of course, you can simply like this video or leave a comment. I'll be sure to respond as soon as I can. To keep in touch with my future uploads, do subscribe to this channel. And for even even more updates, check out the official Twitter account for this channel at 0612TV. Thank you for your support.